And what a show it was. A show it was, ladies and gentlemen. Do not just your set. I'm Hitman Cause. Welcome one and all to your official review for Summerslam. And of course, I'm not alone in this endeavor. Please welcome, as always, the co-host, the humble man, Gary. Gary, welcome to the contracts.
Yes. What's good, my man called Peyton? What's good, my man called Peyton?
Ain't shit, man. You ready to get into this?
Hell yeah, let's do this shit like Brutus, you know it.
All right, man. So, to start things off, it was Logan Paul versus Ricochet. And I might be sounding like a broken record. You might have heard this from other people or even us, but Jesus, man, Logan Paul has no business being as good as he is in such a short time.
That's a fact.
Like the things he's able to do, the moves he's able to make, freaking, it's just, man, it's just so mind blowing. That like, and sure, you know, one could say like he probably practices the move, but everybody practices their moves. That's what you have. That's what you have to do, and you know, just getting your skills in order, just getting your skill up. But just so, man. And honestly, anything anybody says to discredit Logan Paul skill wise is just a hating ass nigga, because oh man, because literally this dude was nothing more than a content creator on YouTube. Then he transitioned to boxing and professional wrestling, and he's able to put on great match after great match.
That's a fact.
But of course, you know, you also got to give credit to the opponents he's faced. So, you know, Ricochet, of course, deserves his flowers. But because, you know, it takes two to tango.
Exactly, that's a fact.
And, you know, and say Ricochet was to be unprofessional and sandbagged him the whole time, probably would have made to be, well, a funny story for the internet to talk about, because they'll wonder why Ricochet did that. But at the same time, you know, honestly, that probably looked bad on Ricochet. But in any case, the match itself, what can't you say about this match?
Exactly.
It was fast paced, surprisingly hard hitting, and such great moves. I personally liked, man, this was crazy. Where I think Logan Paul tried to go for a moonsault off the middle turnbuckle, but then Ricochet caught him. And then before Ricochet could do a move, Logan Paul countered his counter into a spinning DDT.
Oh yeah.
That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I like how Logan Paul threw a shot at Ricochet's former tag partner Braun Strowman by hitting Ricochet with a running power slam, which is Braun Strowman's finisher.
Yeah, that's a fact.
that was funny as hell.
It was.
And Ricochet, as usual, pulled off some great stuff. But also, I liked when this dude Logan Paul had Ricochet outside, and honestly, I thought he was trying to do the buckshot lariat. But honestly, that shit looked too smooth to be it, because he flipped over the top rope, but instead of landing on his feet and then doing the clothesline, immediately after the flip, he hit the clothesline. That shit was dope.
Oh yeah, it was.
And then freaking, of course, Ricochet tried to hit the 450, but Logan Paul got his knees up and almost got him with a roll up. And then
Right.
and then of course, the closing moments of the match is somebody handed Logan Paul some brass knuckles. I don't know. Did you see who it was?
No, I don't think anybody was able to see who the hell that motherfucker was.
Like somebody was under a hood. But in any case, Ricochet tried to hit the 630, but there was no one home because Logan Paul moved out the way. Then someone handed Paul brass knuckles. And first off, let me say this: freaking his right hand is already lethal enough. But with brass knuckles, forget it. You're taking a nap.
Exactly.
So next thing you know, and for anybody wondering why the ref didn't disqualify Logan Paul upon connecting with the punch, if you look back, when he connected with the punch, the ref recoiled. I mean, yeah. The ref recoiled, and when he recoiled, he flinched and turned his head, so he couldn't have saw the brass knuckles, let alone the punch.
Right.
But
Exactly.
yeah, so that's why Logan Paul was able to hit the punch, knock out Ricochet to win the match. And
Oh, right.
once again, I gotta give it to both guys. They did their thug thizzle, man. That was absolutely great.
Yeah, man.
You really couldn't ask for a more exciting, better match out of these two.
Right.
Even though personally, mainly because of how he's been booked, I unfortunately can only see Ricochet as a mid-carder for now. Hopefully, maybe this will be Ricochet's opportunity or a chance to move up the card. So maybe he'll be booked stronger. But this was still great. I wouldn't be mad at if these two chopped it up one more time.
Oh yeah.
And if not, then I honestly want to see Logan Paul again in another match. He signed a multi-year deal, so we more than likely are. But yeah.
Right.
And then also, I loved how after the match, he was running his mouth to Samantha Irvin.
Oh yeah.
And if you look closely at Samantha Irvin, she was doing a bit of good storytelling as well, because she had a tear come out of her eye.
That's right.
And then I really don't want to say this just because this nigga just loves stirring up trouble. Just loves stirring up trouble and reaching. But it's cool. But Corey Graves pointed out something that I thought was funny, and that was the fact that Logan Paul and Samantha Irvin were wearing the same colors, yellow.
Oh right.
And don't get me wrong, I like Corey Graves, but sometimes he be reaching whenever he's trying to run his mouth. But
Exactly.
but it's hard to try and disagree right there because they were matching. So hey, I'm gonna just leave it at there. I'm gonna just leave it there. All right, next match, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Again, another great match.
Yeah, another great match. Honestly, sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Honestly speaking, I'd have to say this would have to be their best match out of all three.
Yeah, of course, we had Brock like dominate the match like in the first half, but then Cody did something that really helped me that really helped open things up, in which he exposed the top turnbuckle.
Right.
And then when he rallied the comeback,
right.
he hit a disaster kick, a Cody cutter, a top rope Cody cutter.
Yeah, exactly.
And how he was getting suplexed to hell. He got F5 through the announce table, but he kept fighting, and then he finally had enough separation to use the exposed turnbuckle, to which Brock's head bounced off it, and then Cody hit the triple crossroads to win the match. And on a side note, I gotta bring this up, but Brock's shorts ripped.
Oh, yeah, I did notice that.
Hey, yo, Brock, man, stop getting your shorts made by Nike. Freaking get a better company to make your shorts, bro.
Oh wow. So.
But still, in any case, this was a great match. I was disappointed that Brock lost. However, what happened after the match, I really liked, and that was Brock shook Cody's hand and they embraced.
Oh, yeah.
Which clearly shows that Cody has earned Brock's respect.
That's a fact.
But I will also say this: apparently that part wasn't scripted. But I'll say this: scripted or not, that was still a great moment.
Right.
And
Exactly.
and if it really wasn't scripted, then it just once again attests to the class act Brock is.
Oh yeah. That's a fact.
And honestly, I think that moment would I think would confirm a face turn by Brock.
Oh word.
Yeah. Moving on.
I think so too.
Yeah, moving on. We had the Slim Jim 25-man SummerSlam Battle Royal. And
okay.
And first, and before we get further into the Battle Royal, I was surprised by a returning Omos, who hadn't been on TV since his defeat at the hands of Seth Rollins.
That's a fact.
Now, for those of you who aren't on social media like that, or don't follow WWE or Omos, the reason why Omos was off TV for so long was because he got married and he was having his honeymoon. So mazel tov to him.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Congratulations.
Word.
But
Glad for that.
But when MVP announced him, he clearly made almost a big target.
That's a fact.
But almost still stuck around for a good minute. But as usual, when it comes to the largest person in a battle royal, everybody ganged up on him to eliminate him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That he freaking snatched. He damn near snatched the apron off.
Oh,
But,
word.
and
He
then
did.
and then then in the end, it was the battle royal was won by the man who honestly should be a champion right now, L.A. Knight.
That's a fucking fact. Glad he won it. Now I was like, yo, this is what's gonna kickstart his fucking push now.
It better.
I know, right? Say that. Facts, yo.
And
Yo.
and needless to say, when he came out, for his entrance, the crowd couldn't be any louder.
Exactly.
And because he won, I'm not gonna complain. I don't have a reason to complain except for the fact that actually no, but if this gonna start his push, it better. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. This better start his push.
Oh, word. That's a fact. It better.
Yeah. Moving on, we had Shannon Basler versus Ronda Rousey in an MMA rules match. I hate to admit this, even though I enjoyed this match, I will read the room and admit that this was the weakest match of the night. But unfortunately, yeah, the only reason
I ain't gonna. Sorry to cut you.
Go ahead.
I ain't gonna debate you. That match was okay. Like you said, the weakest. I definitely will not debate you there about that shit, because that match between the MMA match between Ronda and Shannon, I was like, it was alright. It wasn't too nothing special. You would have thought they would have been doing some crazy ass moves and all that, but no.
See, the way you described it, that I expected you to say something like that. For me, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was good. The reason why I think it was good is because I'm not like most wrestling fans who don't watch mixed martial arts. Because if you watched UFC, then this match would have been great.
Well, honestly, I do. Well, matter of fact, I do watch it.
Because how it was hard hitting and slow paced and like technical based. That's what mixed martial arts is all about. Aside from the knockouts.
Exactly.
And
as a matter of fact, well, I changed your mind, but not because, you said what you said. People had their opinions. I was 50-50. I kind of like that kind of thing, because watching them move and how they do it in mixed martial arts,
yeah, and I'll admit, honestly, this shouldn't have been in a WWE ring. Like I said, it should have been in like a Raw Underground stage, or better yet, someone pointed this out on X, which I think would have been perfect. Was that this should have been it should have been in the fight pit.
Yeah, it really should have. That's a probably would have been made it even more good.
Because the fight pit, the fight pit's literally for MMA stars. Come on, let's look at the statistics. Freaking Matt Riddle was in it. That actually, freaking, that's all you need. Freaking Matt Riddle was in most of them, and he is a former UFC star.
Right.
So
Exactly.
and the fact that this was an MMA rules match, it was literally made for the fight pit.
That's a fact.
Yeah. But
That's a fact.
But in any case, again, good match. Very happy Shannon Basler won. And actually, the way she won actually reminded me of when she first won the NXT woman's title from Ember Moon at, I think, NXT Takeover New Orleans, in which she was working with a bad arm, but she was still able to lock in the Kirifuda clutch. But she only had it locked in with one arm.
Right.
And
that's a fact.
And like with Ember, she was trying to attack the bad arm to make her let go, but Shayna was doing something to endure the pain, to keep the hold locked in.
Right.
At Takeover, what she was doing was that to keep the hold locked in, she was grabbing her own hair to keep it locked in.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this time, she was biting down on her glove to keep it locked in.
That's a fact.
And just like NXT, I've always said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying it with every submission victory. There's only 3 options when you're locked in the Kirifuda clutch: tap, nap, or snap. That's it.
That's a fact.
And Ronda, she chose to nap.
Oh yeah.
And with this, Ronda suffered her very first submission loss in WWE.
Oh wow, that's a fact.
Yeah. And if this was her last match, salute to Ronda Rousey. It's been a great run. She's had some great title reigns. She's done some dope things. So whatever you do in the future, we're all waiting with anticipation. And furthermore, congratulations to Shayna. Hopefully she gets a push too.
Oh yeah.
Because she's long overdue for a singles push.
Facts.
Moving on, we had Gunter versus Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes, another great ass motherfucking match.
Yep. And once again, this man Gunter further proving how great he is as Intercontinental Champion. His run has been nothing short of excellent. I know I've said it countless times, but this is easily the best Intercontinental title reign I've ever seen from anybody in a long time.
Oh yeah.
And they both brought it all.
Facts, they both did.
Gunter, he tried the power bomb kick out. He tried the splash kick out. Freaking Drew McIntyre, he hit Gunter with his own power bomb, and then the Future Shock, but that wasn't enough. Did he? And I think he hit the Claymore, but he took too long, which is why Gunter was able to kick out. But when the chips were down, this man Gunter hit him with a clothesline.
That's right.
But he knew that wasn't enough, because first he I think he hit him with a chop, then hit him with a clothesline, then hit him with a powerbomb, and then ended it.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Like in one sequence, he hit 3 hard-hitting moves because he knew that all of them just one at a time wasn't enough. And once again, you know, I'm very pleased to see that Gunter has retained. This reign has been damn near perfect.
That is a fact. And honestly speaking, even though we've seen the match already, I want to see another match between them.
Yeah.
I think he should continue putting on, like, you know, putting on, going up against people that's from like like people from the UK, like him, like Sheamus and Drew. He's fought them. I think they should have continued matches with them because they put on great caliber matches. Honestly speaking, even though it's probably gonna get tiring or whatever, but it never get tiring. But I mean, they put on some great ass matches. It's gonna never get tiring.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, because all three of them are major powerhouses, you know, they can they can match Gunter in strength, which is why, because their matches are so hard hitting, you know, it makes for a great watch.
Exactly.
Hell, I loved when they were trading clotheslines and trading chops, man.
Me too.
Like when each move was connected, like that shit was echoing. The chops were echoing, the clotheslines were echoing, man, they were damn near killing each other.
That's a fact.
But once again, you know, salute to Drew McIntyre, salute to Gunter. Absolute banger. Can't wait to see the next Intercontinental title defense.
Or that's a fact. Me too.
And I know it's already been established, but for those of you who are keeping track, at this point, considering what today is, he is 31 days away from tying the Honky Tonk Man for being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion ever.
That's a fact. And they said in December is when he will be breaking his record.
Are you sure? Because 30 days, you know, I think at least in November at the latest, or October would be him breaking the record.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I heard somebody freaking mistakenly say December.
Yeah, you know, tell them then they need to fix their math.
Right.
But yeah, but before we go on to the next match, there is something I'd like to point out in which some people on X were complaining as to why Drew just walked away and accepted the loss rather than attacking Gunter or something. I had to break it to y'all, but Gunter didn't cheat in that match. That's number one. He didn't cheat.
Exactly.
And two, Drew lost fair and square.
Exactly.
And because he lost fairly, had he attacked Gunter, he'd look like a sore loser.
Exactly.
So,
well, he didn't attack him after the match.
No, I know he didn't. I'm explaining to the people on X who are complaining as to why Drew didn't.
Oh, you were saying if you were to do so, that's what it would make him look like.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I do agree with him.
Yeah. Drew had no reason to attack him after the match because Gunter faced him straight up without Imperium. He didn't cheat, and he pinned him in the middle of the ring. No feet on the ropes, no grasping the tights for leverage. He beat him straight up.
Right, exactly.
Moving on, we had Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh my God, the storytelling going into the match was already wild enough. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Where first off, Finn using paint. First he had purple paint around his shoulder to expose to further emphasize his reasons behind his his long-awaited vengeance. And then in black paint, he had 7, which was the amount of years he had to endure. He had to wait to get this opportunity.
Yes.
And now that he's finally had the opportunity, he does not want to let it slip through his fingers.
Exactly.
And once again, they both put on a great match. Finn came right out the gate. Actually, no, hold up. Before I get into the match, let's talk about Tacky.
Oh yeah, I knew you were gonna go there.
I was praying he wouldn't wear something tacky, but as usual, he wore some tacky ass jacket. Thankfully, he took it off, but oh my god. Talk about twisting the freaking knife or putting salt in the wound. When Tacky took off the jacket, he revealed his old vest. His black and neon green vest that he wore that he wore at the event in which they faced off for the Universal title, in which Finn might have won, but Seth got the last laugh because he injured his shoulder.
Oh, you're right. That's correct.
And I was, man, I can't believe Seth went there, but damn, that was cold.
Yeah, it really was.
But it made for great storytelling.
Facts.
Yeah, and this match was absolutely great. You know.
Yes, it was.
There's little that you can't say about this match, but I think the storytelling was the best part of this match.
Correct.
And I like how Finn got a bit of vengeance by hitting Seth with the power bomb onto the barricade.
Oh yeah.
Just to let him know how it feels. Sure, there was no separated shoulder, but it's just the moment, having him experience that, let him know how it feels.
Right.
And then, you know, towards the end of the match, the Judgment Day came down, and at first, Dom and Rhea had the ref distracted, in which Damien tried to give before then, Seth caught Finn in a roll-up, in which Finn kicked out, but the second kicked out, Damian Priest popped him in the face. But even then, that wasn't enough. Then, you know, Rhea and Dom came, distracted the ref, and then Damien tried to give his briefcase to Finn to use as a weapon. However, Finn didn't want to use it just yet, because he was saying he's saying, I'm sticking to plan A. So obviously that was the backup plan.
Right.
In which plan A was obviously still trying to win it straight up.
Right.
But then when plan A failed, then there was plan B, in which he then asked for the briefcase, and at first Damien did hesitate, but he still gave the briefcase. But he was doing it in a way, and sure, it was looking like he was debating on not using it and trying to screw over Finn. But in my opinion, he had the look on his face and was making it look deceiving to fool everybody else and to fool the ref.
Exactly.
Which is one. And then to which then he put the briefcase in the ring, but then he ran over to the other side to distract the ref. Now, what happened next, in my opinion, was Finn's fault. In which he grabbed the briefcase, but he was too slow. And because he took too long to get the briefcase, Seth hit him with the curb stomp on the briefcase to win the match. Now, had he, made haste and was quicker in grabbing the briefcase, he could have used the briefcase as a weapon, hit the coup de grace, and then, in my opinion, should have hit 1916 afterwards to win the match. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And once again, I'm disappointed because I said it before. Finn needed to win this match. He deserved to win this match. It's been far too long since he's had any kind of world title. Period. So he was more. So he should have won this match. And I'm not gonna take nothing away from Seth Rollins. No one's taking away anything from Seth Rollins.
Right.
And like somebody tried to say somebody on X tried to say that the crowd turned on Seth. No, they're not turning on Seth. The crowd people have no problem with Seth as world champion. It's just they wanted Finn to win because of how long it's been since he's ever held a world title. Hell, I'll count the NXT title, but even still, it was still years since he held the NXT title, and that was after he won the Universal title, and I'm talking about his second reign as NXT champion, not his first.
Oh, right.
Just to clarify, but even still, that was years ago, and it's been too long since he's been a world champion since. And he's been long deserving, and for him not to win, it's so frustrating. And honestly, I think now we're looking at either Finn or Damian getting kicked out the Judgment Day.
All right. That's right. Yeah, I think so too.
Because now Finn is once again going to be pissed off at Damian. To which Damian, of course, he is going to plead his case, but at the same time, he's not going to back down. And then Rhea and Dom are going to be stuck in the middle again.
Exactly.
And personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Rhea freaking put hands on both of them to get them to knock it off.
Right.
And yeah, and also one last thing. To everybody that pointed out how Randy Orton was apparently in attendance for SummerSlam, start crying, start coping, and eat your motherfucking heart out. He didn't pull up, he didn't RKO Rhea, so keep crying.
Right.
Moving on. We had Bianca Belair versus Asuka versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship. This was another great match.
It really was. Until we're gonna
not yet.
I don't know.
But yeah, this match was great. Everybody brought everything, and you really couldn't ask for anything better. And I gotta give it to Bianca Belair for her selling, because when she got knocked off the top rope and was hurting, and her knee was hurt, she was selling that so well. I thought that was a legitimate injury.
Oh, word. I thought so too.
But considering the fact that the camera was still on her when the medical professionals when the medical staff was attending to her, that's how you know it was still a part of the show. So yeah.
Right.
Then, but even still, superb acting, superb selling.
Right.
And then Asuka and Charlotte, we're doing great on their own.
Right.
And then, just as things were on the verge of ending, Bianca Belair comes back in, and Charlotte had the figure 8 locked in, and she pulled up on one bad wheel, on one bad leg, and hit a 450 splash. But it didn't quite end the match.
Exactly.
But she still kept fighting. She damn near hit a KOD on a bad leg. But not quite. To which then, I think Charlotte locked in the figure 8 back onto no. She locked it in on I think Bianca. To which then no. She locked it on Asuka, who then hit her with the poison mist. And then Bianca caught Charlotte with a roll up.
No, that was Asuka. She caught with the roll up.
Oh yeah. My fault.
Very good.
So yeah, she put Asuka in the figure 8, to which then Asuka hit her with the poison mist, and then while the move was still locked in, Bianca caught Asuka with a roll up to win the match, and once again the EST was champion, and I was so happy for this.
Me too.
But unfortunately, the happiness did not last, because next thing you know, out comes Io Sky and Bayley. To which then, with Io's briefcase, Bayley takes out Bianca, takes out Charlotte, takes out Asuka. Actually, no, just takes out Asuka and Charlotte, because Bianca ducked and hit Bayley, but then Io hit her in the bad knee with the briefcase, and then cashed it in, hit the moonsault to win the title, and Io Sky is your new women's champion. Congratulations to Io Sky. This was a long time coming, well deserved, absolutely great. And as happy as I am that Bianca did win the title, she'll have she'll probably get another title shot down the line, but this is Io's moment for now.
Right, that's the fact. I'm happy Io won too, but I didn't want Bianca to lose it. I'm happy Io won. I was happy Bianca won. I was happy when Io won. I look back at it.
Yeah, but also
also to cut you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can't always believe the rumor reports sometimes, or sometimes it's not true, because they said the men were supposed to cash in successfully and the women were supposed to cash in unsuccessfully. That turned out not to be true. The women cashed in successfully, and look what, you guys seen for yourself this past Saturday. So you read these rumors or reports or whatever, take them with a grain of salt. Sometimes you see for yourselves that it happened, and sometimes you see for yourselves that it doesn't happen.
I mean personally, I didn't see that rumor. The one I saw was that both the men and the women Money in the Bank winner is supposed to cash in successfully.
There's a rumor saying the woman was supposed to be unsuccessful.
Okay. And then also with Bianca Belair, unfortunately, there's another EST that she has to add to herself. because
Right.
not only is she the longest reigning, not only is she the longest reigning women's champion, she also now is the shortest reigning women's champion.
Which one kind of what you said? What kind of woman?
She's now she now not only is the longest reigning women's champion, she's now the shortest reigning women's champion.
Oh, that too. Jesus Christ.
Yep, that's tough, but hey, she's still she's a record breaker. So hey,
Right.
then moving on to the main event, the only main event. That's another thing I want to bring up. Freaking, I don't care how much they were advertising it. There's no such thing as a multi-main event, pay-per-view event, or even event period that has multiple main events. There's only one main event. That's always the final match of the night. That's it.
All right.
So there was no 4 main events at SummerSlam. Only one. And
Exactly.
we're about to get into it. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in a tribal combat match for the undisputed Universal title and to be recognized as Tribal Chief.
Exactly.
First off, I loved how lit Jey Uso's entrance was. The way he had the crowd vibing, had that shit looking like a rap concert.
Facts.
Or better yet, was looking like the Street Profits entrance in NXT.
That's a fact. That too.
But in any case, this match was great. Freaking Roman was giving Jey hell.
Yeah, he was.
But Jey refused to quit. Freaking,
Yeah, he did.
they had some kendo stick spots that were good. They had that nice table spot in which I think Roman hit Jey with a Samoan drop through the table.
Right. That's a fact.
And then freaking one of the crazier parts when freaking Jey brought out the strap, not a gun, an actual strap, y'all. Calm down, and started whooping Roman. But,
right, exactly. Yeah, that was crazy.
And then this part I didn't expect because I thought he wasn't going to be interfering in the match, but Solo Sikoa interfered.
Right.
And for a little while, it was a bit of a handicap match, but thankfully Jey was able to fight off the unevenness, and
exactly.
and then he proceeded to put Solo through a table, pretty much as revenge for Solo doing the same thing to him. I think on SmackDown.
Right.
And then Jey, while in the ring, hit Roman with a spear. And then,
exactly.
Upon hitting him with the spear, hit him with the Uso splash. 1, 2, then he got yanked out the ring. Now, first off, even though he had his head covered by a hood, it was just by what he was wearing alone was a dead giveaway as to who it was. But even still, upon taking off the hood, his pin was broken up by Jimmy Uso.
Yes.
None other than Jimmy Uso.
That's crazy.
Who then gave him a super kick and threw him back in the ring. And then walked out. And by the look on Roman's face, he clearly did not see that coming. So, but in any case, he took the advantage nonetheless. Hit Jey with a spear through the table that was set up in the corner to retain the undisputed Universal Championship and retain power as tribal chief.
Hell yeah, that's a fact, man. Yes, hell yeah.
Now, I am disappointed that he retained the title, but as I said on the predictions, we both knew this was going to happen.
Yes, you did say you are correct.
But that's the problem, because everybody pretty much knew this was going to happen. Well, almost everybody. But
exactly.
But what I can't seem to wrap my head around is how people think that this doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
For longtime fans, look at it this way. Remember when Matt Hardy turned on Jeff Hardy at Royal Rumble 2009?
Exactly.
And he did it because he was jealous of Jeff's success.
Exactly.
That's pretty much the reason why Jimmy turned on Jey. And aside from that, look back to when to what Roman said to Jey 2 weeks ago when they had that segment in the ring. Listen closely to what Roman said, and then if not that, then also listen to what he said back when the Usos initially turned on Roman, in which how growing up Jey got everything.
Exactly.
He got all the accolades. He was prom king and all that stuff, and then also another thing that Jey glossed over was the fact that he pointed out that Jimmy didn't believe in him to be the top dog, and then Jimmy admitted that what Roman said was true.
Exactly.
And I'm sure he glossed over that just because they both wanted to be free from Roman. But
that's right.
But again, another thing that was brought up, again, if y'all were paying attention 2 weeks ago, was that Jey was the top dog between them two. He was the top dog. He's the older brother, probably by a couple minutes, but still, he's the older brother. He's the big man. He's supposed to be, getting everything. And
right.
The only reason why he didn't get everything was because he got injured. That's why Jey was getting everything. And the biggest thing, the biggest reason why he turned on him was because had Jey won the match, he would have got everything.
Exactly.
And he would have been tribal chief, and Jimmy would have to answer to his own little brother.
Exactly.
And all that just amplified his jealousy of Jey to the point where him turning on him was inevitable.
Yeah, that's correct, man. That's crazy. It's really, it's correct.
So, if you guys, if there's over anybody that still wants to say that this doesn't make sense, please, logically, please tell me how it doesn't make sense. And if you can't bring logic into this, then you're either one, living under a rock, or two, you just want to argue to argue.
Exactly.
But I also, but but I also say this: when it comes to Jimmy turning on Jey, he didn't do it for Roman. He did it for himself.
Right.
But then again, that's all testament to what I was saying previously, along with his jealousy. He did it for himself, no one else, just himself.
Right. Exactly.
And at the rate we're going, we're probably looking at. It's more than likely just going to be Jimmy feuding with Jey for the foreseeable future. Because at this point, Jimmy, he doesn't care about the bloodline. He only cares about himself.
Exactly.
And as far as he's concerned, that's the only person that matters. So, to which him and Jey are going to be feuding for a good minute. Will it lead to WrestleMania? I mean, WrestleMania is a long way, so who knows? Maybe it might lead to that. Maybe it might lead to the next Big Four pay-per-view, which is Survivor Series. But hey, actually, yeah, Survivor Series is the next Big Four, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So more than likely, it's gonna go all the way to Survivor Series. Unfortunately, what happened?
The Bloodline storyline.
No. Just Jimmy versus Jey.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. It will.
And for those of you like myself that are sick of Roman's title reign, I have bad news for you. And that apparently Roman is not scheduled to defend his title for the next few months.
Yeah, I read that earlier.
Like, he might be on TV, but he's not gonna be in any matches. So unfortunately, yeah. So that's gonna further bring down the value of his title reign even further, if that was possible. But
and also something else I want to say. Could y'all stop the hating? And for those of y'all that's like me, that's a huge fan of my boy Roman Reigns and his title reign, is a huge fan of him, period. And like I said, as his title reign, acknowledge him. You gotta let my man cause pain and know, and the rest of these haters know. Stop the fucking hating, man. Acknowledge my boy Roman Reigns, the tribal chief and the champion here.
Yeah, there's not.
This month, in a few weeks, we'll make it 3 years. He's been champion.
Yep, and it's been a shitty 3 years.
Stop your bullshit.
But considering all the storylines that have been changed, I'm really curious to see how Raw is gonna play out, because Raw and SmackDown, it's gonna be crazy to see.
Yeah, I said that to myself.
And oh my god, I'm just itching with anticipation.
Me too.
But overall, this pay-per-view was great. Thankfully, this was better than the Great American Bash.
Yes, it was. I was saying the same thing to myself.
I'm so glad that this event was as great as it was. Man, my adrenaline was pumping and my heart was racing for damn near the whole pay-per-view.
Oh, word.
I'm honestly surprised I was able to get enough sleep to get ready for work the next day. But yeah, but even still, very pleased with this pay-per-view. I'm definitely shaking with anticipation to see what happens going into Raw and SmackDown.
Me too.
And with that being said, that's going to do it for this episode of The Contracts. I definitely want to thank each and every one of y'all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and chill with your boys. I definitely want to thank my humble man, as always, to come through and kick in his wrestling knowledge to the people.
Oh, yes. You already know my man's cosplay. You already know. We'll be right back here at Job this month in a couple weeks, either August 30th or August 31st. We're gonna be giving our predictions predictions for Payback, which is September 2nd.
Yep. Yeah. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Comment if you feel like it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. And until next time, by way of Struggle Vision Productions, it's the Hitman and the Humble Man, and we out. Peace.
Peace. We out this bitch.